Explain one way in which prisons were different in the 18th and 19th centuries to the 20th and 21st centuries. 4 marks. Here's the mark scheme for this question, which you can find out about in more detail in our overview video. But we do know that 2 marks are awarded for AO2, which is the quality of your comparison. So that means that you need to be analytical rather than generalised. By that we mean you need to explain your thinking, not just stating that there are differences or similarities, but why there are differences or similarities, or the significance differences and similarities. The 2 marks are also awarded for AO1, which is your use of knowledge and understanding to support your judgments. So if you're saying that something's similar or different, then can you draw on the knowledge that you already have to explain why that might be? That feeds into the analysis that we were just talking about. And as we say, the AOs depend on each other, so bringing in evidence of your own knowledge to support your analysis is really key to scoring highly on this question. Here are the bands for this question, which again are explained in more detail in the overview video. But generally speaking, to score highly on this question, your comparison needs to be analytical, so you've explained your thinking clearly, and it needs to draw on evidence from your own knowledge to show that you've got really detailed knowledge of the topic. As long as the points you made in this answer were relevant to the question and correct, the examiner will give you the marks for them. But let's take a look at some examples of points that you might have made. So one point could have been that in the 18th and 19th centuries, prisons used the separate system and forced prisoners to perform gruelling but pointless tasks. However, from 1922, prisoners were no longer kept in confinement and were allowed to speak to each other. The first open prison was established in 1933, and that provided prisoners with more freedom and allowed them to integrate into society again. So as long as you gave sort of an overall statement explaining the difference between these 2 points, there's loads of really good evidence here to support that difference. Do take a look at the rest of the points here though to see if there's anything you could have added to your answer.